from the third dimension.
This is 3D or 2D.com's Duh 3D Show.
Put on your 3D glasses now.
If you're wondering what the 3D stand for, they are discussion, debate, and the news. We hope that you enjoy the show. Get it? The show? Hello. This is Adolf, and welcome to episode 123 of the 3D Show. I have with me
I am the Count.
Hi, Count.
Do you know why they call me the Count? Because I love to count things.
I know.
And wonderful Jake.
Which one of us are you talking about?
Classic Jake, of course.
Okay.
And it's been a while since we've done a show, so it's kind of out of sync, but it's all right. It's all good. And the very merry Jacob.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so it's been kind of a semi-quiet time for Hollywood in some ways. But we got a lot of trailers for stuff that's come out in the last month or so. And, been trying to reschedule this a few times. I've been trying to do the vendor circuit and sell our merch in person. And that has gone very mixed, but it is what it is. I've gone from 0 days to a couple bucks. So it's like, okay, at least it's not a 0 day. You put yourself out there, you try, and it is what it is. And, so let's get started with the trailers. We got a Lilo and Stitch live action teaser trailer. What do you guys think of this?
I think it looks adorable, and my prediction is it's going to be one of the better Disney live action remakes. It didn't need to happen.
Oh yeah, well.
None of these live, so-called live remakes, because they're 90% CGI. Need to, but they keep making money, so they're going to keep making them.
I mean, do they really? I mean, like Mulan has lost money, Maleficent 2's lost money, and Alice 2 has lost money.
Only one I really liked, and it wasn't that great of a movie, was Aladdin.
I haven't even bothered with that one. It just looks terrible.
It's good.
I haven't even seen the animated Aladdin.
I actually liked it more than the original, but then again, the only thing I liked about the original was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie can just go away. It's only worth it to me. His performance as Genie, and Will Smith went a completely different direction. Smart, they were smart, and I like the leads in the live actually had chemistry. The movie's not a racist piece of crap, and it's just pretty good.
All right, let's get back to Lilo and Stitch. We didn't see that much of it. Was it 30-second trailer maybe? And just basically Lilo? Or basically Stitch, sorry, not Lilo. We don't see the Lilo or the sister. I forget the sister's name. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like Nanny or something? No.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
The story of Lilo and Stitch is pretty simple. So it could easily be live action, and Stitch looks fine as a CG creature. Stitch has become like a fun little gag almost for Disney, where they have a lot of parodies, and we actually got to see that where they had a parody of Stitch eating a coconut from like Moana 2. So
yeah, that was pretty cute.
That was like a trend back in the animated days, that they would do parodies of the old movies and have Stitch interfere with it, and I think that would be fantastic if they do that for this. And this looks like they're going to tease it at least.
Yeah, they should have trailers where the Stitches in the MCU just causing havoc, or some of the more other animated movies, like maybe he goes into Elio or something like that.
Sure.
It'd be fun.
Mm. Yep.
Oh, we're recording this. Let's see how out of whack we are. We're recording this on December 15th, 2024, approximately 12:11 p.m. Central Standard Time. As you're listening to this, things may have changed. We may have some news after this point that we don't talk about in the show, and we do our best. So, I'm pleasantly thumbs up on Lilo and Stitch live action right now.
Yeah,
Let's see how
same.
things are. I assume they're actually hiring Hawaiians to be the main cast. I assume that, right?
Yeah, there's like some Polynesian people, and they hired a black guy for Colonel Bubbles. So it should be fairly accurate.
I wonder if like some of the darker aspects are going to be featured in here, because like I think that in deleted scenes they actually like really showed what happened to their parents, and like it's really sad, and like you really kind of just get like a really quick kind of, oh yeah, they're gone, and we don't really know why or how, but like you kind of learn more about them. But there's like a car accident, and like, you know, I was like, oh, okay. And
In the original ending, Stitch stole a plane, and is almost like 9/11.
yeah, that's
Oh,
that's a relic
yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
Wonder if they'll do that gag with the Ice Cream Man, where they kept ruining the guy's ice cream. That's a
That'd be
good gag.
funny. Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna have some kind of homage to like the watercolor aspect. That was one of the things about Lilo and Stitch was really nice, was that it was a watercolor distinct animation, and you know, live action water is gonna look nice, but I don't know.
It's kind of hard.
If they expected it, they wouldn't be doing this live action. Just saying.
Yeah. Maybe they'll like reference it and like have art color or something. I don't know, Lilo drawing on water paints or something. That could be like an introduction thing where it becomes live action, you know. They've done that in a bunch of different movies, not just Disney, but other companies, where it's a cartoon that becomes live action, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I guess you mentioned it before, Jacob. We got a new trailer for Elio, and this trailer actually contradicts the first trailer, so they changed a decent amount of it. What do you guys think of Elio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just there, and I'm like, is that an eye patch? I mean, what is? It looks like an eye patch, sort of.
It kind of gives me Bads of Strange World, which is not a good sign because sci-fi and Disney have a very bad mixed relationship outside of Marvel.
Yeah.
And even the ones they do that are pretty good, like Meet the Robinsons, don't make money.
Yeah. And even the really, really bad ones, like The Black Hole, are just god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess Elio could, you know, it seems like a really basic story, though. It's like, how do you expand this to be an entire movie? I could see it being a short, like a 10-minute short, but I just don't see how it's a big movie.
It'll probably be something tedious, like the Chicken Little movie or Mars Needs Moms. Something drawn out and tedious.
I hope it's good, though.
Yeah, hope springs eternal, but I shouldn't have watched all these trailers back to back to back.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it
just-
already added to the malaise of just...
Meh.
But the TV gave me the impression that...
We said meh. M-E-H. Meh.
Jacob, were you going to say something?
Oh, yeah, I was just letting him finish. I didn't know if he was finished yet or not, but I was just going to say, it just seems like it doesn't know what the story is going to be, and it's not conveyed well to what it's going to be to the audience.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nugget of a story, but
Yeah, I feel like they're still writing the script, even though they're doing the final edit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that happens a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah, and you very seldomly get a good movie out of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
occasionally it does happen.
And this got delayed like a year, I think, right? If not more.
Yeah.
And like, if you see the first trailer, which Disney actually still has on their website, there's like the differences between this and the second trailer. That's like, oh, okay, you changed the tone here, you changed this. Okay, sure. Basically the same thing, but there's differences. Doesn't really make it better or worse. It's just different, I think. Animation looks nice, just nothing spectacular, nothing revolutionary. I kind of want Disney to have pretty cool sci-fi because animation could have a lot of potential in sci-fi, but it's just, I don't know, something about that is kind of weird to them. Doesn't fit.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what trailer do you want to talk about next?
Oh, we should talk about How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes. Now this is actually like a shot-by-shot intro. The trailer was a little bit disappointing because I saw this in front of Wicked and it was not in 3D, and I was like, come on! It's confirmed 3D though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why does this movie exist?
Money.
We need money! Convenient money!
Yeah.
It's just, I think DreamWorks is seeing all the success that Pixar, or not Pixar, but Disney Animation is doing with their live action remakes, even though they don't make a lot of sense for the most part, but
Yeah.
they're trying to throw their hat in the ring, and this is like one of their big films. So,
Yeah.
Ka-ching.
I mean,
Yeah.
the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, I think, is pretty excellent. So,
Exactly. I mean, it's some of the best animated movies. Period.
a lot of heart, and the 3D is excellent in all of them.
Mm-hmm. They look
I
gorgeous.
never-
They actually have a story that has consequences and meaning and lessons.
I never cared for the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I know I'm contrarian about that, but I don't know. They just seem kind of sterile. I can't describe it really.
I hard
mean,
disagree.
I agree with this trailer because this live action thing just looked bland and sterile and just pointless.
Well, it also just feels like because the filmmakers of How to Train Your Dragon and even the live action one, they worked on Lilo and Stitch, and it felt kind of like Stitch as a dragon, and it just didn't feel that original. And some of the vocal performances I didn't feel were great. So especially Hiccup.
I like that Hiccup had a voice impediment.
It was so against type. I mean, he was like the last person you would expect to be a Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen the third one yet, but I don't know. I just think they're overrated films.
Oh, that's your opinion. I definitely rated them very, very highly. I definitely love them. So.
I mean, I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
But then,
But
I understand where you're coming from because I think Harry Potter movies are highly overrated.
They can be, I don't know. I would have to watch them because it's been since they've come out since I've watched the first two. So I'd probably have to see it at some point again.
I mean, it's hoping that this is going to be an awesome 3D as well as the animated movies were, because this could have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I always appreciated that these movies never try to water down the story for a quote-unquote animated kids movie. It always tried to be just an animated movie that kids would enjoy because of dragons. And they still had some adult themes and consequences and death and stuff.
I wonder if they're going to do it for the live action because a lot of things in animation don't seem as gruesome and cruel as they would in live action.
Yeah. seeing burnt up corpses in the cartoons can be okay. A burnt up skeleton is one thing in a cartoon, but a burnt up live action human being, pretty disgustingly horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, as every little kid who saw Star Wars can tell, the first Star Wars can tell you.
I just wonder if this is going to be rated PG-13 for all the carnage that the dragons cause, or what.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jake, what trailer should we talk about next?
Let me think. Oh, let's talk about the Thunderbolts and New World Order.
Captain America.
Hand in hand, kind of.
Yeah. So Thunderbolts seemed like they basically just extended one scene, which we already saw some of that scene already, which was cool, like an action scene with Bucky and them in the car driving off. That's fine. It's cool. You get a little bit more of a new character. I think we all know who that character is, if you know Marvel Comics.
Oh, yeah. Everybody should know who Bob Reynolds is.
Who?
Or is it Bob?
Bob.
Yeah,
I have no idea who Bob is.
Sentry.
The Sentry, which is a Superman derivative, but they've changed it enough to be different.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people said they created the Sentry because they were expecting the Siegel lawsuit, them to be able to buy Superman, and they were going to... And another rumor going around at the time, too, was they were going to get Marvel Man, a.k.a. Miracle Man, which they did, and they didn't do anything with him, really. Of course, I doubt they're ever going to do anything with him.
And Captain America Brave New World, that had a lot of action, and it actually got me really jazzed up. I'm actually a lot excited for this movie now. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant.
They were smart to put in footage of Red Hulk, not hold that back.
I think that kind of spoiled it, even though everybody already knew that Harrison Ford was going to be Red Hulk.
So they just went with it.
But it's the months of reshoots that I have an issue with, and it's still getting a negative reception in test screenings, even now as we speak, and I'm just wondering why and what's wrong with it.
It just might be political violence.
Well, it'd be something as simple as they don't like a black Captain America.
Yeah.
It could also be they want what they want, and they may not like a movie that that they see as political.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah.
I hope it's just not the same as all these other MCU movies are starting to be, which is stale and stagnant and boring.
In fairness, the second Captain America Winter Soldier was a very much a political thriller, and it's one of the best.
I don't know. I think that one's overrated, in my opinion. Here I am being contrarian again. It's just
it's all good.
That's kind of boring.
I'll get really contrarian. But I don't feel like it because I've been getting my ass flamed.
All right. Well, what about the Thunderbolts trailer, Jacob? You like that?
I actually liked it better, but it seems... Oh, go ahead.
To me, it was like what it just seemed like what the vibe they should have went with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's not as colorful as the Suicide Squad was, ironically enough, even though that was fairly dark as well. But it's more likable. It seems better made.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's going to be Avengers 2.0.
Yeah, because if they follow the comic, they're going to become the new Avengers.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know. It seems better.
It was when because in the comics it was when the Green Goblin Norm Osborn became president.
Yeah.
And we're about to go through that again.
Yeah.
I hope Thunderbolts is good. I hope Captain America is good. I've seen the 3D for Captain America and Thunderbolts, and they seem really strong. So at least I'll have that.
Yeah. Both of them looked really good, and especially Thunderbolts, considering how dark it was, it looked pretty good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So you mentioned Wicked. There is a big toy website controversy about this. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Wicked.com. Not an advertiser.
No, not an advertiser.
That somebody didn't check the web addresses. And this happens all the time. I know a band who they forgot their they were doing something online, and the person who set it up put their name .com, and that .com was a sex site.
Which this
stuff happens all the time, and this has happened with the Wicked toys. But Disney, being the stick in the muds that they are, absolutely freaked out and created a collector's item.
Not Disney.
No, this isn't Disney.
Universal.
Oh, it's Universal. Hell, I'm surprised Universal cared. I figured they would shrug their shoulders.
Well, the news media got a hold of it, and they got all pissy. But yeah, I mean, it's understandable. I think it's an actual link is wicked.movie, I think it is, instead of wicked.com, which is an adult pornography website, which I have no problems with adult pornography. That's but
So
I understand why.
Been watching Wicked to see.
Yeah,
I thought wicked.com was more erotica.
I mean,
that's just semantics at this point.
Yeah. But yeah. It's wickedmovie.com, not wicked.movie. See, it gets confusing, so you can understand why. Yeah. You just gotta double check those things. So, and the thing is, wicked.com has been around for over 25 years.
Yeah.
So predates.
So it's not like an unknown thing.
Yeah, it predates the Wicked play and this. So
knowing graphic artists, they could have done it deliberately. Yeah, you do not want to mistreat art people. They know how to get revenge.
I bet somebody was like, hey, I'm gonna quit. I'm just gonna do this and make a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, just ask. When I lived in Georgia, in First National Bank of Georgia, pissed off their art director, and he made their logo look like a bank robber.
And it could just be simple. You got 5 minutes, or you got 30 minutes, or 2 days to work on this, and you got to do everything in that time. And that was the last thing they did, and they just never. No one had an editor to check it and be like, "Hey, that."
Oh, I would not be surprised if they didn't even have a graphics team. They just had an intern cutting and pasting.
Sure, but still.
But the packaging of the toys looks great, though.
Now with AI, they think they don't need artists anymore.
I mean, the Wicked, like Jacob said, the packaging is fine. There's no problems with the other packaging besides that. But
it says wicked.com.
Besides that.
I still have toys. Well, I don't have them, but local stores around here still have the toys with wicked.com on them.
Hey, people are idiotically paying big bucks on eBay for these.
Yeah. I mean, they're mass-produced garbage. I mean, these toys have been out for months. So, I mean, they're not recalling them. They're just selling them on the shelves and then essentially just going to print more.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wicked, it is a pretty big hit with almost 500 million worldwide, which is pretty huge for, technically speaking, a new property. I mean, obviously this is
Half of a movie.
Yeah, it's half the movie and half of a story, and it's based on Oz and the Oz movies and Oz books that have been around for over a century. But
it's the public domain.
So I think that's pretty big. I'm a big fan of Wicked. So Jake, you didn't like it?
Nope. I'm familiar with the Wicked book, and I've heard a lot of the music from the stage play, and I've really enjoyed it. I've even seen footage of the stage play. Haven't seen the entire play. I just found the film to be tedious and boring, and very little. Ariana Grande, I thought, was terribly cast. I mean, she's pretty much just playing her bitch persona, and I just didn't think that the new voices were as good as the stage cast, and I couldn't understand how they took one act and stretched it out to 3 damn hours.
They could have trimmed the fat a good bit. They didn't need all this.
This movie needed to be trimmed by at least an hour.
Yeah.
This movie made Sam Raimi's Oz movie look fast and furious and streamlined.
No. I don't know. It's just a lot of people are loving it, and my girlfriend and I seen it, and we were kind of muted on it. Some of the sound mixing's kind of bad because you can hardly understand what they're singing. You can hardly understand the lyrics.
Because
they're either pitched high or fast.
And the theater I saw the 3D in, it had worse 3D than A Wrinkle in Time.
I thought the 3D was fine. It was just the cinematography it's weirdly dark and also like overly saturated as well. And even if you take the glasses, it's like, why is it so dark?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and why is this a huge hit?
Unofficially becoming the spoiler cast, so not getting to too many spoilers in Wicked. So I love this movie.
I think spoil Wicked at this point. First of all, even if you've never heard of The Wizard of Oz, the first thing you know is the Wicked Witch is dead.
So, what score would you guys give it, just for the hell of it? Jacob?
Wicked?
Probably a 6 out of 10.
All right, Jake?
I'd give it a 5.
Okay. I hard disagree. I absolutely adored it. So I loved it.
I understand because I'm like one of the maybe 3 people on Earth who like the Joker sequel. Really liked it.
So another movie that's a big hit is Moana 2, which is over 600 million worldwide, and I haven't seen it. Jake, did you watch this? Besides Jacob?
Nope.
It's boring. It's like a literal TV. I mean, it was a TV show at one point, and they just stitched it together and they made it a film, and it feels it. And I get it. Families want something to take their screaming kids to, but there's other movies out there. Take them to go see Wicked. It is a better movie, but just barely.
So, I mean, the Moana franchise is here to stay. I mean, obviously Disney already had plans for the live-action version of this, and Moana 3 is basically guaranteed after the live-action version. I don't know if Disney's going to have a third one and then the live-action, or going to do one after the live-action kind of thing, or the live-action going to take over. But it's
the live-action came out in 2026, so I don't think they could scramble a third film in that amount of time.
Yeah. So, live-action 2026, and then sequel to live-action in 2029, 28 maybe. I don't know.
If it does well.
Yeah, so Disney's bet that this would make more money in the theaters than being at home was a big success for that. 600 is pretty damn good for, what's it, 2 weeks out, maybe, give or take?
Yeah.
3 weeks almost.
Yeah, about 3.
And The Rock must be happy because he's finally got a hit again.
Yeah. Jacob, was he like barely in this movie?
Yeah. He's in it, but it's not as much as the first film.
Okay. Let's keep going here. We got a new trailer for Minecraft, and surprise, surprise, it actually looks decent now. Where
the second trailer actually, first of all, it explains Minecraft, so anybody, you don't even have to play it, you understand it. That was a really smart exposition trailer.
Yeah.
Explained it, and it just, I was like, wow, this actually looks like it might be decent.
I just have one problem with it though. It shows the kid literally going into a mine, and I have a feeling like, is this movie going to send kids going to abandoned mines and getting themselves hurt or killed? That's my only concern.
I imagine it's going to be a line of dialogue in the movie. Oh, you shouldn't do this in real life, but in the game it's different, you know.
Please do not try this at home.
Oh, they're gonna probably be signing kids up to work mines. What are you talking about?
We got to get them in there. Get the clean coal out.
Coal is back, baby.
Oil is back. Natural gas, the bestest gas ever.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And they said, you don't need to go to school anymore. You can just get a pickaxe and go dig coal.
We're making America great again, baby.
So, yeah, Minecraft actually looks decent. I wouldn't say it looks great or anything, but going from horrible to decent is progress.
Yeah, I'm willing to shot.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to come up with an excuse to not go see it.
Yeah.
Or not review it or anything.
If it's not in 3D, it's going to be an easy pass for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I imagine this will be. But who knows?
Yeah, there's a good chance.
So, but yeah, it's progress. And this should have been the first thing, not the teaser trailer. The teaser trailer.
Yeah, exactly. This should have been the first, not a Beatles trippy thing that is like, what the hell?
Yeah. Something about being trippy. We got a Snow White trailer, which is
oh God!
Talk about rubbing the wrong way.
Yeah, this was in front of Wicked and also Moana 2, and I got scared seeing the CGI dwarves, and it looks so sterile and bad.
Yeah.
Word of the day, sterile.
Yeah, and I'm like. Why?
This looks really bad. It legitimately looks bad. I understand why Disney, this was like a big movie that for the company, it really saved their ass back in the day. But
it was the first live action, or it was the first animated film of all time, and it saved Disney.
Yeah, so you understand why they want to do this, and but this just doesn't look right. It just gives off bad vibes, and it just no. And CG dwarfs, it just look unnecessary. It's like no,
and it also looked cheap. I felt like I was watching a television show.
Yeah. I think Rachel Zegler's miscast not because of her race, but because her acting just seems kind of flat, boring. And then Gal Gadot looks fine as the witch. I forget her name from the Sleeping Beauty or Snow White, but it just. The thing is, they got a good director doing this too, and it just looks terrible. And they had to do the CGI dwarves because they had one dwarf and then 6 regular people, and people were complaining about that. And they could have just hired 7 little people. Why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
Because they tried to get Peter Dinklage and he tore him out a new asshole.
But there are other little people actors who are like We could have been represent.
Yeah.
I know, but he's the only one who's got a fan following.
Eh.
It's,
I mean, they could have had the little guy from Joker too. The best part about that movie.
Yeah.
He could have been there.
yeah. Gary. I should have had Gary.
The evil queen is the witch, and other names is Queen Grimhilda.
Yeah.
Or the old hag. But yeah. Yeah, they really should have.
I think they hired her because where she's pro-Israel, she's automatically to be considered evil. I think that's great casting.
Mm. So yeah, I'm not touching that.
And also, no one's ever gonna forgive her for singing "Imagine."
Oh, another Beatles reference.
Just hire little people. I'm pretty sure there's lots of people that would have loved to take this movie. They would have loved it. And
better just stop making these live action remakes.
Guess what? Little people exist. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't care. I mean, because one of the things that bothered me in Wicked, the Munchkins.
Yeah.
I mean, the Munchkins were taller than Glinda.
Yeah. One of them's also doing Glinda.
Yeah.
Alive. And he left his wife and child for her. Damn you, SpongeBob.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Snow White is very rough, and it's just...
It looks like a train wreck, and not a good train wreck.
Yeah.
I can see it in theaters.
Would it really be that much... wouldn't it be cheaper just to hire little people than do CGI?
Yeah. I mean, they had to reshoot it all because they had originally had live action people, one little person, 6 regular people, and people complained. They redid it all.
I mean, come on. It just... There's no need for that. They could...
Oh, if you really want to see something super egregious about little people on film, The Incredible Shrinking Man. They use special effects to shrink a regular actress down because they did. And I'm not even going to repeat the reason the justification for it, but it's one of those things. This would be a great movie, but that scene is just so racist.
So, moving on to another Disney live-action remake. This just got announced, Tangled, which... Tangled is surprisingly a very good animated movie. I did not expect that to be as good as it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Zachary Levi shot him... Well, he still play the part in live action. I don't think he's going to be offered it, though.
No. After Harold on the Purple Crayon, I think his career is pretty much going to be relegated to Christian movies or whatever.
Yeah, pure flicks, and he's going to be those movies along with Chachi and what's his face?
Chachi. Kevin Sorbo.
Oh yeah, and James Wood, and there's a couple other guys. You know, good luck. And they'll play at the Rundown Theater down the street from me. The one that Regal still has the nerve to charge $18 a ticket.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Now $18 might be the gross income for Kraven the Hunter. Not really.
Man, that movie flopped.
Not really. It's 11 million worldwide opening, but that's horrible.
Well, I'll cheer Sony up. Hey, the movie Psychedelic Cop only made $323.
Zizek's Road only made $30 in its entire run. But the Lord of the Rings movie that just came out flopped even harder. but it's
Yeah.
also a cheap movie.
I didn't know that
and
went
I'll
to theaters.
see it on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime in a month.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought it went directly to Prime, but I guess not. Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, why would I go see this in a theater? Is it in 3D? No,
I mean,
it'll be on Prime in a month.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally made to keep the rights to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and I kind of think people are kind of fed up with. I think Amazon's went to the trough one too many times.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like nobody's really gelling with Rings of Power either.
Mm-hmm.
so getting back to Craven, it's obviously been reviewed to hell, and it always looked bad. And I think Sony kind of confirmed, like right before the release, that this is it for the Sony universe. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Don't do that.
which
Yeah, people I know who've seen it, they're arguing whether it's worse than Madam Web or not. I mean, that's where it's at. They're trying to decide is it Morbius or Madam Web the worst of the three.
Well, the opening 8 minutes that they posted online was solid for what it is. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but
Everybody I know who went to see it. Then they said it drops. It's like, boom, Idiocracy. I mean, they said it's just so damn stupid.
yet again, they got another good director,
Mm-hmm.
and they were probably handed a terrible script, even though the guys who wrote Iron Man 1 did the script, and they could have made something.
I know what the problem is Sony has these suits that keep these guys that they have contracts with, like that they're contractually, these are when Columbia made all these deals with people, instead of paying them money, they gave them rights to kind of interfere and control.
I hate that. But like,
Because they didn't think Aaron Alved and these guys would actually use that power. They just would cash checks and sit at the pool.
yeah.
They were just screwing movie after movie after movie. They killed Men in Black franchise. Now they killed this.
And then Avi Arad's got producing rights for not Lord of the Rings, Legend of Zelda. So I hope that doesn't suck.
Yeah. Let's hope he doesn't knows anything days away.
I mean, the director did do the last Apes movie, which I really enjoyed. So
yeah, why I know it's not the talent. There's a suit messing with it, because these movies were just too messed up. The people who are capable of good work, and these movies are bad. I mean, these are deliberate choices that these people would not make. But,
I mean,
but
yeah.
coincidentally, the producers of this names are on all sorts of crap like this.
Oh.
I think it's obvious who's to blame for these movies.
We need to form a full assault!
Venom is kind of a fun, kind of bad.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah, the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venom Last Dance made about 475, give or take, worldwide, which is pretty good. Almost.
It's the weakest of the three.
So
I just wish in Dopey Family that had been Mrs. Chen's relatives. That would have been a hoot. That movie needed more.
I mean, Let There Be Carnage made 506, so it's probably going to get to like right around there when it finishes up its worldwide run, maybe around 500, maybe a little bit less than Carnage, but still, it's pretty decent. I mean, the budget's probably not that big.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like $120 million, which it's a lot of money, but for a blockbuster of that, it's fairly reasonable, fairly cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also one of those things that Sony was so stupid to try to put this in Christmas time. So much other competition out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
This should have been a January movie.
Well, yeah. This should have gone straight to Crackle.
And I think Sony Marvelverse is no more too.
I want to know if this will be the case of because I already know that they said that they had the rights to Spider-Man to put in the movies that he just chose not to. But I wonder if this will be a case of where they try to sell it to Netflix and they have refused yet again, like they did with Harold and the Purple Crayon, to send it exclusively to streaming. And they're like, we can't do that, so they had to send it to out to pasture.
I mean, did they start production in the third Spider-Man movie, but we don't know anything about it at all?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and it's so weird that Sony somehow has two incredible Spider-Verse animated movies that are both phenomenal, and the live-action ones are terrible.
Yeah, and if I was Sony, I would sell back to Disney before you devalue the property so much that Disney won't even pay you what you paid for it.
Yeah.
Because right now they're still worth money. Not as much as they were, after these disastrous movies. But because they have no merchandising rights. So they can't merchandise these products.
I mean, who would want a Craven the Hunter doll?
Venom Horse would be pretty badass.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, Venom Horse would be cool, but it's just I don't want a Madam Web toy. I don't want a Morbius toy.
Johnson, with the abs and stuff. But after seeing this movie, oh hell no, they wouldn't.
I mean, to be ironically funny to have a Morbius toy, but I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
Happen because Disney's not going to market the toys because they're not going to promote a product that's not theirs. Now, with the Spider-Man movies that they have control over, if Sony just kind of sits back and just cashes a check, they do some merch for that.
Yeah. Jacob, did you ever tell us your thoughts on Venom 3? I don't know if you did.
I don't think I did. I enjoyed it. It is the weakest of the Venom trilogy, but it was still a solid movie. It's just all three of these movies should have been R-rated instead of just saving the worst for last with Craven the Hunter.
I forgot it was R-rated. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So that's basically all the news for December of 2024. I don't think we're going to have time to do another Death 3D show in 2024. And Christmas is just around the corner. It's about 9 days from today. So I mentioned to y'all to think about some Christmas movies, some winter movies, because I was going to resurrect the 12 Days of Christmas article that Jake did a couple years ago, but I haven't had time. So let's just talk about a couple of noteworthy Christmas movies that have released in the last 15 years. People always see the classics. It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Story. What are some movies that you should consider watching if you're tired of those old movies? Which, hey, I appreciate those movies. Do not get me wrong. I like those movies. But you want something new, want something fresh, something you haven't seen 100 times. What movies do you recommend?
Violent Night is a must-see. David Harbour plays Santa.
Okay.
You took my suggestion right out of my mouth. That is a fun.
All right.
It's awesome. It's on my permanent holiday rotation.
Okay. Jacob, what's your next pick, I guess?
Well, he took mine initially, but I'll say this for my 3D pick for this: a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. That one's a stunner in 3D, and it's just a fun comedy, and it's kind of heartwarming with the family aspect of it too.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna stick with 3D for now, but I'll come back to 2D other stuff soon. Not directly a Christmas movie, but it's happening at the same time as Christmas. Iron Man 3. A lot of people hate it. I really enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I liked it. It's better than the second Iron Man movie.
Oh yeah, it didn't fold in the Christmas element enough, and the movie was co-written and directed by Shane Black, which was hugely surprising that he didn't interweave Christmas more into the narrative.
It's probably because Kevin Feige wouldn't let him do it more.
Maybe it's like Christmas was cursory.
Yeah, because my next pick would be Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, and it's definitely the Christmas vibe.
I mean, that's what got Robert Downey Jr. back on the map, essentially.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Like, I watched it again recently, and it didn't click that much as it was the first 2 times I've watched it. But it's good, fun adult comedy, dark comedy.
Yeah.
Jacob, you have a 2D movie or TV show even?
Yeah. I just watched it for the first time last night. It's a solid watch if you have Max or whatever, but A Christmas Story Christmas, surprisingly solid sequel to A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. They get most of the cast that's still alive, at least at the time when they recorded it. And it's a good follow-up, and it's nice. It's a good show. It's a good movie. It's nothing too controversial. It's not a classic like the original, but it's very enjoyable for what it is.
Yeah, I'll happily add it to my rotation yearly.
Yeah. Oh, and we can't forget Krampus.
Krampus.
I have yet to see Krampus, but I want to.
It's pretty good.
I heard it is. I like the director.
All right. Next one for me is absolutely fantastic. It is a musical. It's on Apple TV Plus with an all-star cast of Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, Spirited, and it is hilarious. It is a fantastic play of The Christmas Carol in a very meta way, and it is awesome. And I watched the first time I watched this, I was high, and it was a lot more fun because I was high, and it was still a really good movie. And a lot of people have put this on their top list, and obviously they weren't high when they watched it, so I could tell you it was a really good movie. If you have Apple TV Plus, absolutely watch this Christmas time. I mean, it might be too out there meta for kids, but still, it's really good.
Another one that I think this is a Netflix. I think this was a Netflix. I don't think it played in theaters. Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah, that's odd.
Kurt Russell, Santa Claus. Enough said.
Yeah.
Jacob, you got another one or no?
I like The Night Before a hell of a lot. That was a pretty funny comedy.
Okay. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. Great. Really enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one completely slipped my mind.
Wish that was 3D.
In an hour.
I mean, I love James Gunn. So James Gunn and Guardians movies have been all really enjoyable, and this one is just fun. And it's a continuation of 2, so just in case you didn't watch 2, or after 2, is a nice little middle ground before 3. And it's not as heavy as 3, but it's wonderful. And I love that song they have. It's so fun. People may have forgotten it, but it definitely is worth watching.
Yeah.
Jake, you got anything else?
Nothing new. Oh, the other one's on my list. list are kind of obscure, like film noirs set at Christmas.
All right, Jacob.
Terrifier 3 is a really good Christmas movie, surprisingly.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
It's really good. I mean, if you like gore horror, it's essentially that, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I've seen the first Terrifier, so
Yeah.
I have an idea what I'd be in for.
And since Christmas is also associated with TV specials and TV shows, I'll throw in a TV episode of The Simpsons. And this actually is a fairly recent one from season 32, which this aired in 2020, I think it was. The 10th episode, and this is a Springfield Summer Christmas for Christmas. And it is a kind of a fun parody of Hallmark Christmas movies. And it's very self-aware, and it is hilarious. It is one of the best modern Christmas, or best Simpsons episodes in, like, years. And my wife and I watched this when it came out, and we were like, oh my god, this is, like, top-tier Simpsons. And this is season 32. It's really great. And it just perfectly nails the Hallmark Christmas movies that are corny but fun but nice to watch kind of thing. It just nails it so well. So yeah, Simpsons season 32, episode 10, A Springfield Summer Christmas for Christmas. All right, I guess that's gonna be it for us. Unless you're a patron. If you're a patron, stick around for your bonus features. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So I got one quick thing to talk about. We have a merch store.
Woohoo!
We got t-shirts, we got tote bags, we got magnets, we got stickers, we got a little bit of everything.
Woohoo!
At this merch store, 3dr2d.com/store, you'll find many original designs and affordable prices. And I have a code for you. If you want to get 7% off your order, use Lucky7. It is spelled out LUCKY and the number 7, and you'll get 7% off your order. That website again is 3dor2d.com/store.
Woohoo!
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank MK Ultra, Gravity Head Zero, Travante Classics, and Axe Folk for being my super VIP patrons on Patreon. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dor2d@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.